Oh, I'm sorry, that was loud. Didn't mean to be that loud. Hey, girl. Hey, MP. Mr. Brownie ran over here. He's so cute. You're so cute. Are you gonna jump up here, Brownie? Are you gonna jump up here, Brownie? Hi, Pookie. Hi, PLK. What's up, Noel? When I was stationed in Guam in the Air Force, the culture there is so different than here. If you're walking neighborhoods, like where you live, if you live off base and stuff, or even not, if you just drove around and there was having, hey, you guys, stop. I can hear you. If you're walking around neighborhoods on Fridays, especially the Fiesta Fridays, they call them, you could just jump in your car and go drive around the locals. And if someone had a tent up, a canopy, and they were cooking and grilling food, you could just join. Just walk in there and join. Well, I found out today that someone who I called mom, like a mom to me, she passed away yesterday. And she had gone in for like stints, kind of like my dad. I don't know the whole story. Mr. Brownie. I don't know the whole story, but Mr. Brownie. Oh, let's get him up here. Oh, oh, I get you. Oh my goodness. I swear, the older I get, the more goodbyes I'm going to have to give out and go through. Did you know that? No one told me that. No one warned me. Then you start realizing, well, the older I get, the older the people around me are getting, and the older the people around me are getting, they might pass away. And I guess if you do the math, I mean, it would be common sense. She passed away yesterday morning, and it seemed like I don't talk to the family like all the time, and that's okay. It's like, you don't have to. I mean, like a lot, like years will go by. But you know what? You love people and you're a part of their family when you just pick up. You don't talk every day, you don't even talk every year. But when you pick up the phone, you see each other on FaceTime now, or you talk to someone you love that's in Guam. To me, it's like a whole nother world over there. It's like so hard to get to Guam. It's so expensive. It's so hard to get there. It's so far away. But I talked to what would be my like sister from another mother. Has anybody have one of those? Sister from another mother. Bless you. And we just looked at each other and started bawling on the screen. And I was bawling. I learned this a couple years ago that you never know when it's your last time doing something. Meaning, you go out, let's say you meet some friends and play a game of pool and you leave. And then, like a few months later, maybe something happens, there's a car accident or a shooting, and you don't realize, oh my gosh, I didn't know that that time playing pool with that person was going to be my last time. Like, I didn't leave that moment thinking to myself like that was going to be a goodbye. And I mean, I'm in my late 40s, right? So I'm learning these things that hit home when you don't realize that it's a goodbye. You don't know that this is the last time that you might do something with someone. And when it is the last time and it hits you, it's late. It's too late. And even right now, I don't have help to like leave. And my dad, he's in the hospital, he's in rehab, heart rehab, PTOT. If you're new here, he just had open heart surgery. But he is coming home tomorrow, actually. I'm picking him up, and he can't walk on his own yet. So even if I wanted to jump on a plane, right, and I don't have a pet sitter and I don't have help, and my dad wouldn't have someone. So my body wants to go to the funeral. But the story goes, when I was stationed in Guam, which was a really cool place to be stationed at. If you could ever visit Guam, I would. I have heard it has changed, but you have to have an open mind wherever you visit around the world, and just know that each place is a little different from somewhere else. And you can enjoy what you see. You can complain about what the minimalist it is, as a small little island that you can drive around in hours, like literally. But it's like the dive center of the world is somewhere that you might want to dive. Guam would be on your bucket list, or should be. But if you go to Guam, right, at least at this time, it was in the 90s, 1999, 1997. I was in a lowrider club. I had a lowrider truck. I had competed my truck. It would Can you believe that's what I was into? Competed my truck in dance competitions. I mean, I had such a blast. And I met this family, the Bloss family. I met the Cruz and Bloss family. I met this family because I was getting my stereo system installed so I can compete like sound systems as well. Go figure. I just loved that side of the I love cars. I love cars and trucks and lowriders and drifters and all that. And I was I was talking to people on the island. It's like who you know. And I had got a hold of a guy's named Jesse, and I had him. We built a subwoofer. It was like four 15-inch subwoofers, or four 12s, I think, four 12s. Rock. Gosh, I can't remember the name of them. Four 12s. Shoot, they might be a kicker, and some amps, and it was booming in this nice deck and everything. And it caught on fire the night he finished installing it. And it was pitch black night, dark. I have a really cool picture of me leaving the house, his house, his parents' house. So I would be at his house. We would be building the speaker box and installing everything. Yeah, he was the mindset behind everything, but I would be present, watching it and being a part of it, right? And so being a part of that, and it taking like hours, like 3 days in a row or whatever. I mean, you could compete with this sound system. He was the best installer on island, like the best. And I would get to know the family. I became like family, and I never felt like that before anywhere, where someone just could just love you for who you are, right? You just show up and it's just like, oh, here, like they were like my brother, my sister, my mom, my new mom. And it felt great because I was so far away from my family. And to be honest, I had a real toxic family. And my mom was very toxic to me. And that can come later. That behind the scene can come later. But I didn't always feel like my mom like loved me. And so when someone like that would step in to my world and show such unconditional love like Betty did to me, like I brought you guys to Betty's house, like, just love you no matter what. You're doing that? Great. You just come over, just see me. Oh, you want help with that? Let's do that. Let's build this. Let's do this. Let's make that. Let's do, like anything. Are you guys hungry? You guys are working on the car all night. I'll cook you some food here. This is our local food. And Kelligwin, and like adobo, chicken adobo, fish Kelligwin, chicken Kelligwin. But I'm living this memory with you all, and y'all don't know them because they're not here. They don't live here. They live in Guam. But I have to take this moment for them because there's so many people that we never talk about that make you who you are today in your life and in mine. And I have to say, all the nights that after that, as we became a family, hanging out, calling them like my family, like I was treated like I always had a place to sleep, even though I was stationed in Guam. I always had a place to sleep. Like if I was hanging out with them, I just felt like I was a part of their family, like immediately, you know? And after we hung out, and what I mean is building my truck and installing the sound system, when it caught on fire, I was pulling out my truck. I was driving out. It was really, really late. It was such a big deal. We were filming it. Like we just finally got done with the sound system. And I remember just, I wasn't even 10 feet, 5, 10 feet. And I was like, it's on smoking, it's on fire. So what happened was somewhere in my truck harness, the actual wiring of the truck itself. And so this Jesse is so smart. He went to school for electronics out in Arizona at an electronics school. And so it's a big deal. This is what he does for a living, right? So he took off the whole next day of work, and he worked on school systems bus engines. And so that's what he did. And he lit auto mechanic, and he took off the day a whole day to figure out why it burned up, why it caught fire. He wanted to know, like, why. And I don't know if you know anything about your vehicle wiring harness. I don't know if you've ever known anything about that, but it is like the bloodline to your vehicle. If one wire is rusted or gets wet, or if it sparks, or it can just burn out, and everything then has to be rewired with new wire, which is like, if you can imagine the veins in our body, like everything we're going through with my dad, right? The veins of your body is just totally not working. And I'm at work, right? I think I had to borrow someone's car. I can't even remember how I got to work at this point, but I'm pretty sure they let me borrow their car. I literally left my truck there, and there wasn't Uber or Lyft and then I was pretty far from where the base was. And anyway, he called me. He was like, "I figured it out." At some point in this vehicle, right? In this vehicle I bought used in Arkansas, this truck, this Mazda pickup truck, extended cab. I lowered it and put sounds on it, put hydraulics on it, and I was competing with it. And he goes, someone at some point put the wrong fuse in the fuse compartment for one of the wires. And so when he had installed everything, it caught fire because it couldn't accept the load. And so that whole harness burned up. And in doing the research to find it, he also called around and got another harness off of the same vehicle somewhere at like a junkyard, and he had to go pull it out of that vehicle and then put it in mine. And I just remembered, so his mom, so Jesse's mom passed away yesterday morning. And I think in my mind, because the conversation was quick today, and I also know what it's like after your mom dies, everything that you have to go through, the people you have to call, the arrangements you have to make, the heartache that you're going through, the sadness, the thoughts process where you're at, how busy you are, and you still have kids and you're taking them to school. And I didn't want to keep my sister from another mother. I didn't want to keep her on the phone. So I didn't stay on the phone for too long. I was trying to be super understanding of where she would be. I didn't want to take advantage of her time. Marianne, if you're ever going to watch this, I love you and thank you for letting me talk to you today, how busy you are. But as far as I understand, it sounds like mom went in for mom Bloss went in for like what my dad did, kind of a stint in the heart. And it sounded like they actually did do the stint. Like, I didn't get the details because my dad's stint didn't work. So the next day they had to decide whether they were doing open heart surgery or not, if he was a candidate for it. And can you believe you could be a not candidate, meaning there's nothing you can do. You have to have x-rays done, you have to have all these ultrasounds done. They come in, ultrasound all your veins. And I'm like, why? Why do they have to ultrasound all your veins? They have to ultrasound all your veins in your legs and your arms to figure out where they're going to take veins from to put those veins into your heart. Did you know that? So just because you're like, "Oh, I have a heart problem," they have to find veins in your body that will work, and they might not work. Well, I think she passed away due to some heart disease or heart problem or heart attack because she just got what could have been surgery for stents, and that was recent, like a couple weeks ago, as far as my understanding was. But I just want to say, I love that family. I love that family. I loved that mom like a mom. I was there for a year and a half, and I knew them almost the whole time. And I went on to go back and visit them at least once and stay with them. Actually, twice. I went twice. In the last 20 years, I went back to Guam twice on my own to see this family, and I stayed with them. They let me stay with them. And I cannot tell you anything bad about just the island of Guam and the people of Guam and how accepting they are of all races and anyone that walks by there. If they're having a fiesta, back in the day at least, I haven't been there in 20 years like that, but you could walk up and be like, "Hey, what's up?" And they'll invite you in into their tent and be like, "Yeah, come enjoy local food and come hang out." And at least that's my experience with Guam and Chamorros that live on Guam. That's the name of the culture. But I do need to do a shout out to them and their culture, and God bless your family, and I'm so sorry for your loss. And thank you for loving me, and thank you for loving people like me that come to your island and enjoy being stationed there, but also getting to know locals. Man, it was one of the best duty stations I've ever had. I love you all so much. So I almost didn't go live tonight. I really was like, I don't want to. I mean, I'm down, you know? And I was like, "Man, I gotta keep my word." Is it any of you counting? Is this 30 days yet so I can get a break? Anyways, thanks for listening to me talk about my life a little bit, and appreciate you all so much. I get to talking. It's already been 19 minutes, Miss Angel. So let me read the script here with you guys. Hi, Pookie. Good to see you. These are the dogs in my house, Kay. Are you looking for adoption? Hi, Tina. What's up, Cookie? Good to see y'all. Welcome. Be sure you hit that sub and like. So sorry to hear that, Dee Dee. I know. Thank you. You met her in a Bucky's on a road trip. You never know. You never do know. Hey, Haley, what's going on? So as we get closer tomorrow, Bubba's going home. I don't know if I say I'm worried for Mr. Bubba, but I do hope he understands his limitations. And I want him to be successful in his growth. I got to yell at Pastel every now and then. I hope he understands his growth and knows his limitations. And I say that because, you know, Bubba likes to do his own thing. And I don't want him to not be patient with himself and end up hurting himself, coming home, since they didn't let him actually fulfill what I think was 20 days of rehab. They had him do what seemed like 2 weeks. He got there late in the week, the first week he got there, which he didn't get any rehab, you know? So he got there what, late Thursday night. This is 3 weeks ago, not quite 3 weeks, but and then he spent 2 weeks, which is Monday through Friday, and then Monday through Friday, which is I think they count those days. So Monday through Friday and then Monday through Friday, and they're letting him get out early, and he's not totally walking on his own. He said he can kind of walk with a walker, but they told him that what they would lean into is have Bubba at least be able to walk from one side of the room to the other without a walker, but that he's not even there yet. So you never can tell what the insurance is going to do. and it is absolutely frustrating, it really is. But at the same time, I told Bubba today, I said, sometimes pushing you off of the umbilical cord is kind of what you also need for yourself so that when you have the care there, when you have 24-hour care, right, Angel? When you have 24-hour care, right? Then you lean into it when you have that care. You might be, standing in your own way sometimes when you don't need to be. If you ever meet somebody here, let me say this and then I'm gonna let you guys go. Maybe you have a friend, or maybe you have a friend that's married, or a friend that is was married or has a boyfriend, and because they have a significant other all the time, they are reluctant to make decisions. Do you have that friend? Do you happen to have that friend? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, if you are by yourself a lot, you don't have a problem making decisions unless you're like me every now and then. I'm just overwhelmed with everything. I just don't even know what I want. Like, I don't know if I should eat. I don't know if I should go buy groceries. I don't know, all that might happen, but I feel like I do that because I'm just so overwhelmed. But on the real, I know what I want. I'm gonna get up tomorrow morning. I'm gonna be like, okay, definitely want to start my day with a coffee. And I'm gonna let the dogs out. Like, I got these decisions to make. It's like, okay, I'm gonna definitely try to go dancing next week. These decisions you can make are really easier to make when you're not leaning on someone else all the time. And then you meet somebody or you're around somebody who has someone else, and depending on who your friend is, it's either the husband or the wife or whatnot, or which partner your friend is. And all of a sudden, it's like, man, she never can make a decision. Or when you hang out with that person, they might say, can you decide for me? Like, I'm not really sure what I want to eat. Can you help me with that? And do you understand what I'm talking about? If you do, comment below. Sometimes we see that in the people around us. And what I'm trying to say is my dad, Bubba, who's in rehab, sometimes you just got to push them on their feet and they have to stand a little and maybe sit down a few times. But at some point, he's going to turn around and no one's going to be there. And he's either going to stand up and then rest and sit down, or he's going to stand up and be like, you know what, I could actually take a few steps and walk. And so sometimes if you are with somebody else, if you are unable to make decisions, I challenge you. You know who you are. Make those decisions. Start learning how to make decisions, and don't lean on someone else to make your decisions, because one day someone's going to need you to make a decision about something, and it's going to be important, and you're going to need to know how to make a decision. I challenge you, if you have struggles with that, making decisions, to own it and really go, you know what, you're right. Just because you're here, I always lean on you to make all the decisions. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start making decisions for us too. And it is okay to do that. We let ourselves, sometimes we get in our own way in making decisions on what we want to do or what we like or what we prefer. Hi, Debbie. Good to see you. Haley, why don't you lead the prayer? Hi, Marcia. Good to see you. All right, we're going to be gone in 5 minutes now. We're doing a nightly check in, usually about 30 minutes for 30 days. And I want to say we're coming to a close pretty soon. And I don't know how long the close will be, but if you've enjoyed it, you can always kick back us some donations for the dogs at myfavoritegroomer.com/donate. Any amount helps us. Mr. Brownie, look at he's so happy. He's just chilling right here. He's just so happy. Miss Saki right there. She's in the kennel. The door's open. She wants to lay in there. She's so silly. We've had a lot of rainstorms today, all day, off and on all day. Have you had a lot of rainstorms too? This whole week, I thought we were only supposed to get a little bit of rain, but every day it's been rainy so far. Oh, the speakers are called Rockford Fosgate. I almost forgot what those are called. Rockford Fosgate. If you know what those are, comment below. If you've ever been into cars and stuff like that. I do have to do another shout out. Donna, she's been a fan for a long time, but we don't see her here. I haven't seen her in a long time here. She's been on my Facebook since she visited us, me and David at the time, many years ago. At 5 years, she actually said today. I put a post on my Facebook if anyone had a wheelchair for my dad. And believe it, Donna gave me a wheelchair today. And not only did she give me a wheelchair, yes, she did. Not only did she give us a wheelchair for Bubba, she also gave us a spare, this was a spare wheelchair, and she gave us a spare shower chair. And my dad's going to need it. He doesn't think he's going to need it, but I think he's definitely going to need it. And thank you so much, Donna, if you're out there and you ever watch this. I really appreciate you more than you know. Thank you so much for helping Bubba. Now, when it comes, since I'm talking a little bit about this, so let's just say you go to the hospital with your friend or your family member and they happen to need a wheelchair, right? If you happen to have a wheelchair, I would say bring it home and give it to someone who needs it. Don't leave it at the hospital. Because what ends up happening is they don't give you the ones people left behind, they order you a new one. And yes, they do. They order you a new wheelchair. And in most cases, if you have insurance, what happens is they'll put in an order for your insurance to pay for that wheelchair. But for some reason, passed out, for some reason, when it comes to wheelchair and equipment, there's a copay no matter what, no matter what. And that copay is because the wheelchair is so expensive. So what happens is you order this wheelchair. Oh, that's Miracle. She's jelly. Are you jealous, Miracle? It's all right. Just a few more minutes. Oh my goodness. Anyways, a wheelchair is like a 220 or $300 purchase from the insurance. So what they end up doing, I can't have her doing that. What they end up doing is giving you a copay, which the copay is not like 25 bucks. It's usually more than that. So they only do one item. You can either get like a walker, you can get the wheelchair, you can get I didn't even think that was an option. The shower, that's not usually what somebody's going to pick because they need to walk before they even need to worry about taking a shower. But even the walker that they can get, they'll say the comment I heard was walker's about 39.97 on Amazon. So just use your copay towards the wheelchair versus the walker because how expensive it is. And if you happen, which my dad does, happen to need oxygen, then you're in a whole nother ballpark of paying for this oxygen situation. So a friend of mine who passed away, you guys know Titania. She had the same birthday as me. We talk about her a lot when we say the fourth, may the fourth be with you, right? So she taught me because she was occupational therapist. She said, "Hey, Dede, when people pass away at these homes, they leave their wheelchair behind if they came in with one." And so that taught me it's like, but then what's crazy is that home isn't going to send you home with their free wheelchair. They keep them. So what I'm telling you behind the scenes is if you know a family member or if you know yourself or you know something going on with someone getting a wheelchair and it's not something you should leave behind in my opinion. You should bring it home and give it to somebody who needs it. That way they can use that copay or they can use their money towards something else they might need in the in any situation that someone you love might need to have a wheelchair, a shower chair, two walkers, because none of these doors in our houses are wide enough to roll a walker through. So that means you have to take your walker up to the door and then leave it behind and get into the bathroom without a walker. So you need a walker in your bathroom and outside your bathroom so you can trade off. Ain't that something else? We don't think about that when you build a house, how wide your doors are, or when you have your house built, or when you buy a house. You don't think about that until you must have an open door big enough for a wheelchair or a walker. Ain't that something else? All right. I love you guys so much. Thanks for hanging out with me. And let me go here and make sure. Hi, Double R. What good to see you. Welcome. Where'd Mr. Brownie go? He went in the bedroom. Did he go in the bedroom? Storms are coming from Africa, you think? I bet they are. God bless each and every one of you. I so appreciate y'all tonight. And we'll be seeing you tomorrow, 30 minutes every day for 30 days. Love y'all. Have a great night. Subscribe so we can see you again. And we'll talk to you later.